What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we're going to be talking about 5 more Easter eggs you may have missed in Blackout during the beta. Now, the Easter eggs we're going to be talking about today are in a little bit more depth than the previous ones we looked at. The ones we looked at last time were all revolving around zombies. These ones include zombies, campaign, and just some multiplayer Easter eggs as well. So there's a lot of stuff we have in this video, and one of the more interesting things that's happened lately is David Vonderhaar went on to a podcast and was talking about the Blackout Beta, what they're going to be changing going into the final game, and one of the things he said is that he was kind of surprised and disappointed, especially with the zombies community, with how little Easter eggs we actually found in Blackout. Apparently they put in a ton more during the beta, and a lot were just found, so I can't wait to actually get our hands back on the game and try to find some of these Easter eggs. But without further ado, let's talk about the 5 that I found for this video. And the one we're going to start with today is actually going to be a zombies one. So as we know, in Blackout mode, there is something called the collapse, aka the storm, in other words, the zone that moves in. And when this zone moves in, not only is it purple, but once you're in it, you actually start hallucinating. Some of the things that you may have seen before in the past have been numbers, maybe a little bit of words, but a couple of the symbols that are in this that you can see is, first of all, the first one you're looking at here is the symbol for Nova 6 gas. And the second one we have here is actually the logo that you see in the loading screen for Blackout, which as of right now, nobody really knows what this logo is. And when you're in the storm during a game of Blackout, generally speaking, you only see numbers and these symbols, but as you stay in the storm for longer and longer, and the smaller the actual zone gets, the more your character actually starts to hallucinate. And eventually you begin to see things like this, a full sentence that says, "I feel like I'm breaking." But eventually, if you stay in the storm long enough, you hallucinate more and more, and eventually you begin to see faces as you're seeing here. Now, personally, I never saw these faces, but these were actually sent to me by a friend named Lucario Project. I'll link his channel down in the description. Go check him out. Thank him for the screenshots. But he sent me these and explained to me that if you stay in the storm long enough, you see these faces for 1 frame and 1 frame only. So you have to put these actual videos into some sort of video editing software and go through frame by frame until these faces actually pop up. I know a couple popular streamers actually saw these faces on their live streams and paused the stream and they were able to see it. But what this actually is a face of someone you may recognize. This is Samantha from Zombies. Now, if you don't know who Samantha is, I'm not going to go into an incredible amount of detail, but basically, she is the daughter of Ludwig Maxis, who is one of the main antagonists in the Zombies storyline. And upon doing some more research, it appears that the same face is actually from the Revelations extended trailer. This image here you're seeing was taken from this exact trailer and looks almost identical to the actual image of the face that you see in the collapse during a game of Blackout. So I'm guessing that the image was taken from the Revelations extended trailer and is now put into the hallucinations of the collapse in Blackout. The next Easter egg number 2, this one's a really interesting one, and I believe I was actually one of the first people to find this, but I didn't actually make a video on it because I had no idea that this was actually an Easter egg. I thought this was something that was purposefully put in the game and was going to be part of the gameplay, but as of right now, no one's figured out how it actually works. So I found this during my 3rd ever game of Blackout. You can go back on my Twitch, watch the VODs over there, and see me find this for the first time. But if you are in firing range and you pop the perk called Looter, basically what this perk does is it highlights various items that you can loot around the map. Now, in one of the buildings inside firing range, there is a little container that has a pistol in it. Now, this just isn't any pistol. This is Seraph's Annihilator pistol, which is, of course, the specialist weapon that is always a 1-bullet kill. However, there's actually no way to open this container, get inside it, and actually retrieve it and use it in Blackout. It is only there when you use Looter. That's the only way you can see it. And like I said, as of right now, there is no way of actually getting in there and getting it. So I'm guessing this is something that's going to be in the game upon full release, and I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of challenge involved with this. Maybe you have to be playing as Seraph, maybe you have to do something special to actually unlock this container and get it out of there, but I'm guessing there is going to be some sort of challenge to do with this Annihilator pistol that actually allows you to unlock Seraph as a specialist character, and that's how you unlock her via a challenge. You getting the Annihilator pistol out of this chest and using it throughout the actual game of Blackout. However, in the beta, this was not there. You were not able to get it. The only specialist weapon we actually saw in the beta was the War Machine, which, as we know, is Battery's specialist weapon. Now, the next little Easter egg that I found in Blackout is up in the northern forest area. It's kind of between train station and estate. You run upon this little camp. Now, this camp has a helicopter, a little tent, and it may look a little bit familiar, because if you go back all the way to the Black Ops 1 campaign, there's a mission called Payback. And when you escape from the tunnels in Payback, the thing you actually come across is this exact camp.
You see that hind? We're gonna take it. Mason, fire when ready. Take the shot.
And it's interesting, everything from the helicopter to the tarp on the ground, the tent in the background, the hill behind the actual campsite is exactly the same in both the campaign mission Payback and Blackout mode. And it's interesting because out of all the Easter eggs I found so far in Blackout, there's been a ton of zombies Easter eggs, but really this is the first Easter egg I found directly having to do with the campaign of past Black Ops games. And speaking of zombies, the last couple of Easter eggs we have to look at are directly to do with the zombies mode from different Black Ops games. So, the first one we have here takes place in Factory, one of the locations on the Blackout map, and when you actually go inside one of the factories, on either side of the factory, you can see a big sign that says the number of days since the last injury, and the number of days, of course, is 115, which is, of course, one of the most important zombies elements out of all of zombies. So the next Easter egg is kind of similar to this one, and it takes place at any gas station that you actually find, and it has to do with the signs hanging on the wall. So some of the signs that you may find, the first one we're looking at here is the Holly Cream Cake sign. This one, of course, is tied to the Shadows of Evil map from Black Ops 3, and not only was this sign in Black Ops 3, but there was also a trip mine Easter egg that actually had to do with this sign in Shadows of Evil. Now, some of the other signs you may find throughout various gas stations in the Blackout mode are, of course, signs for various Perca-Colas. In this specific gas station, the two that we see is one for Double Tap Root Beer, and underneath that we can see one for Revive Sodas. Now, these are actually the only two Perca-Cola signs that I specifically found. If there's other ones, I don't know about them, and this specific gas station that we are in here is the gas station closest to construction site on the Blackout map. Now, the final Easter egg I have, at least for this video, has to do with, once again, zombies. Now, if you go to the graveyard in Blackout, this is right beside Asylum on the map, and if you go to the graveyard and kind of walk around and listen, what you're eventually going to hear is this. So I know it's kind of hard to hear, and this honestly isn't the best video clip of it, but what that was there, it was a woman or small girl crying. Now, you can hear them kind of trying to catch their breath, and it's a pretty distinct cry, and in fact, it may actually sound a little bit familiar, because this exact same cry can be heard on the Black Ops 3 Zombies map, The Giant. And of course, if you guys didn't already know the kind of background of this Easter egg on the Giant, basically this is expected to be Samantha crying. Now, Samantha, you may recognize that name from a little bit earlier in this video. Yes, we are talking about this girl here. So guys, as you can see in this video, I actually ended up giving you guys 6 Easter eggs that I found throughout the Blackout mode, but as Vondahar had mentioned in his most recent interview, there are so many Easter eggs that we have actually missed in the Blackout mode. And it's interesting because when Blackout was out, there was literally millions of people playing the beta, and the fact that no one found some of these Easter eggs with how large the Easter egg and zombies community is actually quite mind-blowing, and I can't wait to see what they actually end up doing for Easter eggs. Some of the things that I'm wondering are you going to have to be in the collapse to complete some of these Easter eggs? Since you only hallucinate when you're in the collapse, is there certain things you can only see during that period of time? Plus, on top of that, they made it so the collapse actually does more damage now, so maybe finding those Easter eggs will be that much more difficult. But as of right now, these were 6 Easter eggs you may have missed in Blackout. Let me know which ones of these you did know or didn't know down in the comments comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, it would be very greatly appreciated if you could hit that like button, and also if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all my videos. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time guys, peace out.
Paradigm.